Okay, so I've been getting a few requests for an NLE Choppa video recently, and he's just been to the UK to record with Russ Millions over what sounded like a Jersey drill beat.
Hey, I bet I shake, 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 shake. Come on, I bet I shake the room. His life we take, we gon' make the news.
The track isn't out yet, but he did post a preview and it sounded crazy. He's also been on a few other drill beats like his track In the UK, and to be honest, he seems to pick a similar style of beat each time. So right now I'm gonna show you what I'd cook up if you asked me for a beat. So let's get into it. Alright, so in both the drill beats I mentioned that I've heard him on, they've had vocal samples which are quite repetitive, which is perfect because I just dropped the Divine bundle which has 20 vocal phrases in there, and I think these will work perfect for it, because what I'm thinking is we could flip one of them, so let's just have a listen. All sounded crazy. Ooh, I think this one could work. Could even chop it up a bit. So bring this in. The BPM is 143. Already got the project set to it. I'm gonna set it to stretch. And let's actually bring it up to like 145. I want it to be kind of bouncy. And then we'll just pitch this up like 3. So I'm thinking we could just do a real simple chop like this. And then we could just find another section. Let's just try that. And then we'll just make sure this is set to generic bleeding so there's no clicks. We'll copy it over. Maybe even this part. Could bring that back. And then I'll just hold Shift, Alt and the mouse wheel. And then we'll bring it back so there's no gap there. Yeah, that could work. That sounds sick. So let's move this over. We'll copy this across. And then we'll take another section like this. So yeah, get rid of that. And then bring this one back. Cut that there, bring it here, and then just chop the end here. Yeah, this is gonna sound wild. All right, let's send that to an empty insert. I'm just gonna take out some of the lows, and then just duck this region here. And also what you can do if you want a bit more flexibility is to chop it up using one of the dry vocals, because these don't have a lot of processing or reverb on them. For example, I took the same one, flipped it the same way, but now I can add my own reverb. Yeah, I'm thinking about that. Next, I just took out a few frequencies that were quite sharp, like this one. So just cleaning it up a bit more. All right, and then one more thing just to help clean the vocal up, because they did use the dry version. So I've just opened Isotope RX10. I'm just gonna hit learn and then I'll hit play. So this is gonna listen to the audio and actually do the work for me. It's gonna make some suggestions to help clear it up. So this is before, this is all the way up, but then I'm just gonna bring this down a bit. Think about that. All right, cool. I think that's going to be it for the vocal. Next, I'm going to go to the Salvis one-shot kit, another part of the Divine bundle. So if you haven't got it yet, make sure you click the link in the description. I've just gone to the string one-shots, and I'm thinking we could use this orbit one. So we'll create a pattern. We'll bring this in, bring everything down, except for the hold, put the release up a little bit and the attack. And then we've pitched the vocal up to D minor. So I'm thinking we could just use the root note. Yeah. Just to add some tension. Let's try another one. Maybe this one. I said I wanted to add tension, I might as well use the tension one. I'm just gonna take that same reverb and copy it across to the strings. And then I'll also just take some lows out. Maybe even some highs. All right, next I'm gonna add a sub bass, and we could just add another one shot. So I'm gonna go to the Chaos drum kit. I'll just choose one of these subs. I think any of these would do. I'll just bring this one in for now, and then I can see which one fits the best. Again, all I'm gonna do with this one is just use the root note. As soon as you add that sub, it just sounds mad. I think this Royder one might be my favorite. Yeah, it's crazy. Okay, I've also brought the Thriller strings one shot in, and I'm just gonna add this again, but up an octave. And this one's a little bit shorter, so I'm just gonna add some reverb to it. I'll add a little bit of delay as well. I'll set this to 8, bring the volume down, input down, and then we can literally just use that same reverb. All right, let's try this. Then lastly, I'm just gonna add an EQ on that string and just cut where the vocals are popping through. So it was around 500 and 2K. Just so it doesn't drown out the vocals. Yeah, Yeah, it's sounding hard now. I'm actually gonna swap that ending. I think that last one repeating was getting a bit annoying. Yeah, that'll be better. Right, now we can hold control, click and drag over all 4 of them. Right click on an empty insert, select root to this track only. And then I'm just gonna use kickstart 2 to add a sidechain effect. That's just what gives it that instant bounce. And for now, that's really all the melody needs. So I'm gonna go ahead and add some drums. Thinking we could either use the sideline one or the strike one. Either of them will work. Just tighten that one up a bit. Or we could pitch it down as well. And the bounce of this one is just gonna be really simple. We can just copy this over and then just cut a few. Alright, I'm thinking this one. I like the sound of that more. Alright, let's pull in a snare as well. Let's try this one. And then maybe we could layer some of them with this. And then as well as layering some, I could also use it as a bit of a perk just to add more bounce. Yeah, that sounds sick. Right, one of my favorite snares, it's gotta be this one. And I'm gonna paste the main one into it. See what I'm saying? I think it just has a bit more impact. Alright, let's go into the counter snare folder. And I'm just gonna add something like this to add a bit more bounce. So we'll just paste the main one in. And then a few filler notes. I think just that, and then just one roll here. Yeah, it's hard. I just want to save as much space as possible. Alright, so that's going to be the main drums. Next I just need to add the 808, so I'll mute the sub bass and we'll see which one's going to work best. I think it's something like this heat one. Yeah, that one sounds crazy. Maybe 2 there. Yeah, so these last 3, we can just glide those up. Let's try this. Yeah, that could work, but let's just switch this part around. I'm actually muting that second count snare. I don't even think it really needs it. What I'm gonna do though is add a drum fill just at the end of this 8 bar. Yeah, I think this one. Set that to 140 and then we'll just bring the volume down. Yeah, that sounds crazy. And then I could take something like this and then just use the start of it. And then we'll just take a perk repeat like this and add it to the start, and then same thing, just fit to tempo. Most of them were designed around 140 or 143, so you shouldn't have any problem stretching them. Alright, I'm gonna take this shots perk as well and just add this to the middle. All this stuff's just gonna add a bit more atmosphere. And to be honest, it really doesn't need much more than that. So I'm gonna go ahead and split the pattern. Just like to keep things organized. So I'll bring this back over. And then what I'll do from here is just create another 808 pattern. Yeah, that's the one. And I always like to add a slide note up here. I don't want to go too crazy with it. Sounding mad. And if you notice with this 808, I don't even really need to add the slide notes in there. It already sounds sick. I just need to change the kick a bit. And I don't want those same fills repeating every 8 bar as well. So I'm going to cut this one here and then bring the end of this shots one in. Just for a bit of variation. Alright, so we'll copy this over a few times and then we'll take kickstart and then we'll turn it off in the beginning. Let's try to take that vocal and we'll pitch it down an octave in the intro. Or we could set it to stretch pro and just bring the formant down. But when I'm pitching it down an octave, it's just not quite sounding right. What I'm thinking is we could try this vocal synth. Sometimes I just run this on a vocal chain and it gives me some interesting sounds. That might be a bit too much. Ooh, that actually sounds cold. Sounds like a guitar or something, and it could come up here. Mad. Make a cut here as always. Alright, and then in this section we'll bring the second strings in. And then in the vocals we could just make a cut here. Actually, I'm going to render the strings too, and then I could chop those with the vocals. So I'm thinking we could just cut here and then copy this over, cut the bass too, and then all the other drums. Yeah, that's the one. Alright, and then when it gets to this section, I'll take the 808 out and then bring the sub bass back in. And then I'm thinking we could bring kickstart off too. Yeah, just cut everything like this. Or maybe that would be better as the bridge. Let's try that. Let's bring this over, bring these back. We could just have the sub bass there and then bring this in. We could try making a cut here. Alright, and then I've got the vocal synth on just in this one section, and then it could cut off here and the kick at 808 will come in. Alright, so it's only going to be a short verse, but then in this section, for the bridge, that vocal synth could come back on, and then I'll maybe just cut the drums like halfway through. And leave everything except for the vocal synth. Alright, and then we'll just copy this over. And then last but not least, gotta add the camera flash. Alright, let's have a listen from the beginning. So we just got the vocals, the strings, and the sub bass in the intro, but with vocal synth. I've never really seen anyone use it in a drill beat like this, so you can thank me later. Drop sounded crazy again. Then coming into the second 808 pattern. We got the cuts of the drums. And then coming into the verse. So yeah, if you're liking the sounds that you hear, make sure you click the link in the description. Or if you want to see me cook up more drill beats but only using one shots, click up here.